have to just discuss real quick. Austin Hill, man, Xfinity race. That Xfinity race put a bow on this entire weekend. And Austin Hill, I mean, I think he might be the greatest super speedway racer in the history of the sport. I don't think that that's terribly far-fetched to say.
No, it's not.
It was absolutely insane to watch him do what he did on Monday night. Not once, not twice, three times. He drove from the back of the field to get to the front once again. I mean,
are you sure you guys don't want to win? Are you sure you guys don't want to win?
I mean, yeah, it was like you just teasing. He's toying with the entire field, bro. And RCR was extremely fast. I mean, Jesse Love looked great in his first start, you know, controlling the race in that first stage. I mean, Austin Hill, even with damage, it was just unbelievable to watch. I was floored watching it. And, you know, obviously I host an Xfinity podcast with the NASCAR betting preview show. So always dialed into Xfinity every single weekend. And there's a reason why Austin Hill is priced at 4.5 to 1. There's a reason why he's 3 to 1. And the next guy is 9 to 1 this weekend at Atlanta. It's an absolutely absurd price to pay. But when you do what he did, it's hard to even call it a masterclass because he wasn't up front the whole time, but a masterclass in such a different way because he was able to slice his way through the field 3 separate times. And oh God, it was just, it was insane. I couldn't believe it. And for Austin Hill, I mean, probably going to go back-to-back this weekend at Atlanta again. Like you'd mentioned at the top of the show, 3 straight Daytona opening wins. And plus 2, I mean, we got the narrative of Austin Hill versus Sheldon Creed at the very end. It's like the more things change, the more things stay the same. Austin Hill, he's still the same Austin Hill, even if he's got to fight from the back multiple times. Sheldon Creed, new team, new digs. He's still finishing second. Like, it's absolutely, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy.
But again, I mean, I just have to give a hats off to Austin Hill, RCR, for building just rocket ships on super speedways. Because that dominance that's hard to do year to year to finish first consistently on these types of tracks. I mean, back against the wall, everything against you. And a lot of the problems, you know, were Austin's own doing on pit road. He mentioned it in his post-race interview, but you could just tell he's fired up, just ready. I mean, the Austin Hill Revenge Tour, I think, is on it after last year missing out on the championship for. And to start it off in the way that he did, I mean, watch out. Field, because this Southern boy is the last guy I want to take on in the garage. And it was just it was awesome, man. It sucked. It sucked having to watch him do it, but I mean, respect. Unbelievable stuff there from Austin Hill. So I had to shout that out because really ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, that you mentioned masterclass. So to me, that's like the most impressive showcase of raw driver talent when you are able to come back from something. We see drivers dominate races all the time and just nothing bad ever happens. And that's also a sign of strength because they're able to avoid certain things going on. They don't make any mistakes like he made on pit road, and they don't make, perhaps, bad drafting decisions and go to the back and have to come back to the front. But I love when they're able to do that. Like, that shows that when things do happen, they don't just break down and you just don't hear from them for the rest of the race. Like, oh no, it's not over until his hood is flying off, into the infield and his car's destroyed. Like, he's always able to come back from situations. And that's the type of driver that excels in Xfinity, that excels in super speedway racing. And those are the guys who end up contending for titles. And that's probably going to be his year for this year. You mentioned Atlanta, he's won there in the past. That race, I think it was last year at Atlanta, that really cemented him as one of the best super speedway guys who just understands how far he can push his car and how far he can manipulate other cars to get to where he wants to go. How he was trying to get the lead back. I think he was like 3rd or 4th in line, and he just had to try to get past one car at a time to get to the lead. And just nobody else was doing that. Nobody else was really trying. They didn't have the confidence. And he was just putting his car into areas that I didn't think anybody can do. And it didn't work out that day. But what he doing 3 in a row to start the year at Daytona, that's astonishing. That's like Dale Jr., Dale Sr., Tony Stewart type things. I don't know how many other guys have done that besides names like that. So he's a bull behind the wheel. Yeah. And if you ask Myatt Snyder, he's a bull in real life. I know he's a big dude. I've been interviewing him for a long time. You know, he was like his early 20s at the time, and he had these big, giant Ryan Newman-esque shoulders. And
dude, yeah,
he's a big guy from Georgia. Like, I don't want to mess with him on or off the track.
Sure. Yeah, but good company for sure for Austin Hill.